Hey everyone, it's Yvonne Emil Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. And I don't have my computer today, so I'm just going to record off my phone and let's see how this goes. We have a new moon in Sagittarius today on November 23rd at 4:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I wanted to give you an idea of what this new moon could entail. It is definitely not as intense as it has been the last few new moons, definitely not eclipse type of energy for sure. I'm rather excited about this new moon, so I would love to share with you what I feel could potentially be the energy that we might experience from this new moon. Now, because I don't have my computer and I'm just recording off my phone, I don't have my chart to show you, but I will include it in the comment section in case you are interested in looking at the chart. But essentially, I will be using my hands to represent the planets, give my hands something to do, and we will go from there. All right, so let's talk about new moons, right? So as always, this would be the part where I show you the chart, but I don't have the chart, so we're jumping right on into the new moon. So the new moon essentially is a time where we want to initiate what we want to plan. We want to set intentions for this next lunar month. And intentions could be anything, right? It could be intentional work, it could be intentional ideas, it could be intentional projects, it could be setting the intentions for you and your development, your relationships, your career, your finances. It doesn't really matter, okay? It really is just about setting the intentions of what you would like to focus on this lunar month. And this is a really wonderful way to keep track of your progress, okay, and keep track of your growth and your self-development during the new moons, right? Full moons are a little different. We'll talk about that next time. But we have this new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is mutable fire. Okay, so it is a fire element, which means that there's passion, there's action, there's motivation behind it. And it's mutable, which means that it likes to move around, it likes to travel a lot. So if you know any Sagittariuses in your life, you probably know that they are most likely prone to moving around a lot or traveling a lot or constantly seeking that next adventure. Okay, so that is very much Sagittarius energy. Sag energy is, we refer to it as the guru of the zodiac, okay? Because there's this wisdom, this truth-seeking, default system that they work with. It is always seeking the truth. It's always seeking better improvement. It's always looking at life from a perspective of what things could be done better, but not from a Capricorn point of view or not from a Virgo point of view necessarily. Those are Earth. This is not necessarily from a critical point of view. Sag is just looking from an inspirational point of view to try to make improvements in life, right? And so it is very much the visionary. It is the archer. It has this is me letting go of the arrow, okay? I feel like Katniss. Anyhow, so it is constantly seeking it's a visionary energy. It's constantly seeking the future and seeking the next adventure. And that's why they have a very difficult time settling down. If you have a Sag energy in your life, and especially a very strong Sag energy in my life, like my brother has like 5 planets and the node in Sagittarius at the very top part of his chart in his house of career. He is very motivated. He always has been in that part of his life. Not that he's not motivated in the other parts of his life, because he is. He has Mars in the first. Anyhow, but he has this beautiful stellium, and so there's this constantly seeking to grow in that area of career. And then along with that, he grows in other parts of his life, right? But if you have someone with very strong Sag energy, you will notice that they're constantly like seeking that next adventure, seeking that next goal. The problem with that sometimes is that because they're constantly shooting for the future, sometimes getting from here to there can be difficult because they're not so much focused on the details. The details may come a little bit more difficult to focus on, because who wants to be bogged down by the details, right? Leave that up to Virgo. Virgo loves the details, okay? So the Sag energy can become very self-absorbed in that pursuit of those goals if they're not carefully balanced. And the other thing with that is that they can lose confidence pretty quickly too, right? If they're forced to sit and stay for a while and try to figure things out, without that movement and that motivation and that action, it can be difficult for that Sag energy. So But overall, the Sag energy is about seeking the truth, and it's about seeking the truth from a betterment perspective, right? So Sag energy is always typically looking at how things could improve from an inspirational point of view, not like a Capricorn point of view where Capricorn's like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Okay, no. Okay, Sag energy is, hey, how can we make this better? How can we improve? How can we, inspire people? How can we find the truth? How can we develop? How can we create, motivation? That's the Sag energy that we're dealing with. And so for this new moon, maybe that's what it should be about. It should be about seeking the truth for yourself, right? Seeking the truth for your relationships, seeking the truth for your finances, your career. Where are you in life? Like Sag energy is constantly asking, where am I? Where am I? So where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? And that's what this new moon feels like. This would be a great time to sit and contemplate and set intentions for what you would like to accomplish this lunar month. And maybe for next year, because we are coming up to the new year. So why wait till the last minute to try to consider what you want to do for next year? It's visionary work. It's how do I get from here to there? Okay. So a couple of ways that you could do this is taking your journal, writing the intentions, okay, really asking yourself, where in me do I need to grow? What part of my life do I need to spend some time growing and some time nurturing and some time becoming wiser and seeking the truth? Sag energy and Libra are about the truth, but where Libra, air energy, is about fairness and justice and balance, Sag energy is about seeking the truth for the sake of seeking the truth. Okay, and so there's this philosophical perspective that Sag energy works with. And I mean, think about it. Sag energy rules the ninth house in the zodiac. The ninth house is spirituality, it's religion, it's law, okay, it's education, it is magic, it's the occult, it's travel, and all of these experiences are really about seeking the truth. Just think about it. Right? So for this new moon, I would say focus on seeking the truth for yourself. Where in your life do you need to find more time to dive in and do some explorative work, either for you, for yourself, get some self-improvement, read that book that has been, sitting right there on your nightstand. That's like, maybe I need to do this now. Okay. Maybe it's about questioning your relationships, right? And saying, okay, where is the truth in my relationship? Or maybe your finances. Okay. How am I approaching my finances from a truthful, honest perspective? And maybe your career. I mean, anything can be about, seeking the truth. But most importantly, it is, I believe, this new moon is going to be about that cognitive, aspect and that and the feeling of it, because Mercury and Venus are in a conjunction in Sagittarius as well. So we have the moon, we have the sun in the new moon conjunction of Sagittarius, and a little further off, we have Mercury and Venus together. And so it is going to be a very contemplative type of approach. It's how we're feeling with this energy. Now, Mercury struggles a little bit in Sagittarius because it's considered more in detriment in Sagittarius, because Mercury likes the details, right? Mercury likes communication in the details. And I mentioned earlier, Sag doesn't really like to focus on the details. So Mercury sometimes gets lost in all of the, ooh, this is so beautiful. I love all this visionary self-help stuff, and I'm just going to go along for the ride. So we want to be very cognizant that we're not overlooking those details. Okay. The other aspect about this new moon is that Mars retrograde in Gemini is trining Saturn in Aquarius. Now, these are the two malefic planets, right? And so even though they're the malefics, and they tend to create more havoc in our life, they're still connecting in a really nice trine to these two air signs of Aquarius and Gemini. And even though Mars is retrograde, it makes me feel like this new moon is going to give us the opportunity to start, some responsible, more grounded action approaches, even though there may be delays, even though we may feel a little bit more scattered. This new moon is happening right before Thanksgiving here in the US. And so that sense of travel, okay, a lot of scattered energy, but that Saturn kicks in and says, well, let me see how I can settle some of this energy down. And the other aspect is that the new moon is trining Jupiter, stationing to go direct finally, okay, the wonderful benefic planet. Now it's an out of sign trine. So the new moon is in Sagittarius, it's fire, mutable fire, and Jupiter stationing to go direct is in Pisces, it's mutable water, but ideally it's not the same element, right? Water and fire. Ideally, we would want those two in the same element, but it's still Jupiter. It's still an out of sign trine. It's still a benefic. It's still going to be very helpful for this new moon because Jupiter is the truth seeker. It's the guru of the planets, and it belongs to Sagittarius. So in this case, Jupiter in Pisces is going to be very strong, and it's trining the new moon in Yes, the Jupiter in Pisces, okay, and it's trining the new moon in Sagittarius. And so even though they're not elementally connected, Jupiter feels very strong, is at home in Pisces and at home in Sagittarius. So that's why I feel this will give it a big of an influence kind of pump to make things, more enjoyable, more accomplished, more a sense of really wanting to do the work, actually, do the work. All right, everyone, I think this is pretty much it for this new moon. This is a lot better than we've had the last couple of new moons. No eclipse energy. This feels like a very good placement for me. I'm really wondering how this is going to manifest for me, because this new moon is literally on top of my natal Neptune in Sagittarius in the 8th house of fears, other people's money, taxes, and all of the subconscious stuff. So let's see what happens. All right, everyone, if you want to learn more about your astrology, please visit me. You can find me at silvermooncounseling.org. That is silvermooncounseling.org. And that is it. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Stay safe. If you're traveling, if you're not, stay safe anyways. And this time of the year can be very stressful for a lot of people. And so doing the moon work is one of those coping skills to help you manage all of that anxiety and stress and overeating. Pumpkin pie overeating. Okay, I'm out of here. All right, everyone. Take care. Blessed be.